Hello, welcome to the Roundhouse podcast with Paul Solentrop of Wichita State University Strategic Communications. Thanks for your time. We are continuing our series introducing fans to newcomers on the Wichita State basketball teams. Our first guest today is Jasmine Peaks. Jasmine is a 5'6" junior guard. She is from Palm Bay, Florida, and is a transfer from Indian River State College. She averaged 14.4 points as a sophomore, 11.4 points as a freshman. Jasmine, favorite WNBA or NBA player? Who do you really like to watch?
My favorite NBA player is Stephen Curry.
Okay, tell us more about that. What do you like about him?
He just does everything. Like, offensively, he can shoot the three, get to the basket. He gets his teammates involved, so it's fun to watch him.
He's had quite a career. Good choice. Tell us about your journey here to Wichita State. Why did you end up playing for the Shockers?
I ended up playing for the Shockers because Coach Nooner and the staff, they're very, family-oriented, and I wanted that for a school, so that's why I chose to pick them.
Okay, I think everyone that I've talked to, all the newcomers, everyone has said family-oriented.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit more about that. What does that look like? What were you looking for? How did they really hit that hard with you?
They just embraced me and my family, and they were there for me. They waited for me to commit. I did take a little bit to commit, but they were still there, so it was really nice for them to wait for me.
Describe summer practices. You're about ready to wrap up, and then you'll take your exhibition trip. What have practices been like?
Practice has been good. We've been going hard every day, just trying to get everything correct before we go to the Virgin Islands. So it's been fun.
What's your favorite drill?
My favorite drill. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's right. You can think about it. If one pops into your brain, we can come back to that.
Yeah.
How about your least favorite part of practice? Is there something you dread, maybe just a little bit?
When we mess up, we run a lot, so sometimes I'll be dreading that.
Okay, that would be universal to most basketball players. So, Jasmine, you like to garden. Tell us a little bit about that. What are you working on growing in your garden?
Right now, we're trying to get it all situated back at home and start a little garden and start doing tomatoes, cucumbers, just a few things just to test it out.
Do you have a salad or a dish, something you like to make with fresh grown food?
I haven't tried it yet, so after this test run, we'll see.
Okay, we'll check back on that and see what you're making. Describe your game for the fans who have not seen you play yet. When someone comes to a game and they leave Coke Arena, maybe in January or February, what do you hope they are saying about Jasmine Peaks?
I hope they see that I try to get everybody involved and I try to do what's best for the team. So,
if you weren't playing basketball, is there another sport you would play?
I play softball.
Softball?
Yeah, I would play that.
Okay, what position did you play?
When I was little, I started at pitching and did first base. So.
And when did basketball take over as your main sport?
Probably around 12 years old. That's when it really, I just chose that as my main sport.
You will be wearing number 22 for the Shockers. Is there a story behind you wearing that number?
So this will be my first year wearing 22, but I'm wearing it because it used to be my stepdad's number, so I was looking for another number, so I just took his. So hopefully I can do what he did in that number. Okay,
tell us about your stepdad as a basketball player.
Well, he didn't play he just played in pro-ams and stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's his main sport though?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he influential in your basketball career?
Yeah, he's always been there. He gives me good advice. So.
Advice. That leads us perfectly into our final question. So you've now been through it several times, recruiting, finding a college. What advice would you give to maybe a high school sophomore who is starting on that part of their life?
I would just say embrace the journey and take the visits you can and just enjoy it, really, honestly. It goes by super fast, and make sure you just checking off the boxes of what you want out of school. So.
Okay. Jasmine Peaks, thanks you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Hi, this is Rick Muma, president of Wichita State University. Check out the latest episode of the Forward Together podcast. Each episode, I sit down with different guests from Shocker Nation to celebrate the vision and mission of Wichita State University. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
We are here with Taylor Jameson to continue our series on newcomers to Wichita State's basketball teams. Taylor is a 5'5" guard. She is a graduate student who transferred to Wichita State from George Mason University. Taylor is working on her master's degree in human resource management. She played in town here at Wichita Heights High School. Taylor, favorite WNBA, favorite NBA player, who do you really like to watch?
I'll probably say both. So WNBA, definitely Skylar Diggins. She's like the first player that attracted my eye when I was a kid. And then Russell Westbrook, NBA. Definitely.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about both of those as far as their game, style of play. What do you really like?
Skylar Diggins, I just like how precise and everything that she does. She's very aggressive, very emotional, but like emotional in the right moments. And I feel like she's just always been the glue to the teams that she's been a part of. And that's just something that I would like to kind of show in my game as well. And then Russell Westbrook, I really just love his heart, like the way he plays. Like he has a lot of criticism that comes with who he is as a person and a player. But regardless, he comes out every single night and he just leaves it on the floor.
Definitely, you never get cheated when you're watching Russell Westbrook. That's for sure. Okay, you're back home. Why did you choose Wichita State?
Yeah, so the first 4 years of my college career was at George Mason University. It's actually 20 hours away. My parents and a lot of my family didn't get to see a lot of my games, so I just felt like I owed it to them for all the sacrifices that they've made for me to be able to be where I am today in my career. So I just wanted to kind of repay them by coming back home and allowing them to be in the stands.
What do you think will be the best thing about playing in front of the hometown fans?
Just the community, just the people. I mean, I feel like Wichita is more than just a home. It's always home forever. It's home to everyone that kind of pass by any other Wichitan. Like, it's just a very family-like community, so I'm just excited to be able to represent them well.
You will be wearing number 0. Is there a story behind that number?
Yeah, so the very first time I watched a basketball game with my dad, it was actually the Oklahoma City Thunder playing, and Russell Westbrook was the point guard at the time. He was just phenomenal in my eyes. I think he had like a 40-point game, and I was just like, Dad, I want to be just like him. So that was actually my very, very, very first basketball number when I played like 16 years ago for the YMCA league. I was like, I'm going to be number 0. So once I got to college, I just stuck with that number because that's just kind of a player that I really look up to.
Okay. You like to paint as a hobby. Tell us about that part of your life.
I kind of just started painting my freshman year of college as like something fun to do outside of basketball because my freshman year was COVID, so you couldn't really be around people like always masked up. So I just started painting one day and I was like, well, like I kind of like this. So it's actually just a way for me to just escape my mind and just other things in life in order for me to just find like a new place of peace outside of basketball without being too exerting on my body.
So working on your master's degree, human resource management, tell us about that. What's in the future plans?
Yeah, really excited about that. I kind of looked up to my mom, watching her study to get her her bachelor's degree in business administration. So I just kind of wanted to follow her in the same line. So I got my undergrad in business marketing. So I feel like being able to have that master knowledge in human resource management will really be able to help me kind of start off my business career after college.
Okay. Practices with Coach Terry Nooner, describe them. What's that like out there?
Very intense. I would say they're very game-like. That's something that I really enjoy about it. I feel like we'll be very prepared for games because he creates a very game-like atmosphere in practice. So, yeah.
So I hear a lot of people will say our practices are harder than the games, and that's really important. Is that the kind of tone you think he's trying to set?
Absolutely. Like he's very precise in what he wants, and he does everything he can to make sure that we understand where he's coming from, and everything he does is with meaning. So I feel like we won't just be playing to play, like we'll be playing with a purpose because we'll know what the meaning is behind of like everything that we're doing.
Do you have a favorite practice drill, one that you enjoy particularly?
Not really a drill, but I could say that we do scrimmage and play against each other every single practice, and I think that's something that a lot of schools, teams, like I feel like that's very like important for you to be able to create those game-like atmospheres in practice, so that when you get to the game, it's been something that you've done multiple times before, so it kind of takes the heat off you.
We just had Jasmine Peaks in here. Give us a little scatter report on Jasmine. What kind of a player is she?
Yeah, Jasmine is a very, very, very high IQ point guard. Just like she said, she gets everyone involved. She's very crafty. I would say they should look forward to seeing a lot of her crafty passes and her scoring ability and her ability to just to make the right plays in the right moments. So.
Okay, let's give fans a description of your game. What do you hope that they are walking out of the arena thinking and saying about Taylor next winter?
Honestly, I hope they're just saying, like, whatever it takes. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win on the offense and defensive end, scoring ability, leadership. Like, I feel like that I'm really trying to bring everything to the table for this team and leave my career on a high note. So I hope that's what they see.
So you can really tell Wichita State has increased its efforts as far as mental health and diet, strength and conditioning over the last year or two. So last month, the team went to Dillon's to learn about good choices for food. What did you pick up from that field trip that's maybe been helpful?
Something I really picked up was probably the amount of food that we need to consume in order to produce. So oftentimes, like some of us, like a lot of female athletes, they struggle with like their body image and wanting to be that perfect model athletic type of look. But I really just learned from the dietitian visit that we took at Dillon's that like we need the food and the calories and the carbs and stuff to fuel our bodies to be able to perform at a high level. So not really counting calories anymore, just more like really looking to fuel my body in order to put myself in the best position to perform.
So you've taken a lead on social media here at Wichita State. You did Tea Time with Tay in June. You got several of your teammates to dance. Who had the best dance moves in your opinion?
I would probably say Princess Anderson. She's not the most gifted, but she was definitely herself. She's always herself. She's always like a very bright and loud personality that just makes it hard for there to be any darkness in any room. So definitely Princess. Okay,
good to know. She's going to be on next with us. We're going to introduce people to Princess as well. What's next with Tea Time for Tay? Do you have a plan for your next episode?
Yeah, my next episode will be kind of like a segment of comparing some of my international teammates and my teammates from other places and how they kind of how they pronounce words that we pronounce and see like the difference in how they sound and like kind of the words that they may struggle to say or some of the different ways that they may say words that we say them here in America.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about Shocker women's basketball. There's definitely an international flavor. You got a lot of diversity and different backgrounds. I always think that's an interesting part of being on the Shocker women's team. Mm-hmm. All right, we will wrap it up and let you play mentor. What advice would you give to maybe a high school sophomore, junior, kind of starting out on this journey to athletics? What should they be looking out for? What should be on their checklist of things?
Yeah, I would tell them just go to the place where you're wanted. Go to the place where they care about you not only as a player but also as a person. I feel like I found that here with Coach Nooner. That was something that I made a priority in my recruiting process, is just making sure that they actually cared about me and that they were able to tell me on the visit to my face exactly what they were wanting from me, what the expectation was, and how involved they see me being in their next season. So I would say just be very clear to the coaches about what they're wanting of you and what you're wanting out of the program, and just choosing people that choose you.
Okay, Taylor Jameson, thank you very much for your time.
Of course.
Hello, welcome back. Our next guest is Princess Anderson. Princess is a 5'7" junior guard from Beaumont, Texas. She attended Pratt Community College, where last season she averaged 26.7 points. She led all the junior colleges in the nation in scoring, as she earned all Jayhawk Conference honors in 2023-2024. Princess, let's start. Tell us a little bit about your favorite WNBA player, favorite NBA player. Who's out there that you really enjoy watching?
A player I really enjoy watching, I say, is Caitlin Clark. To me, she opened our sport a little wider, honestly. But no, I do look up to her a lot.
Caitlin Clark, so she was obviously quite the sensation over the last 2 or 3 seasons. People really enjoyed watching her, following her. What do you like about her game?
I really love how she's not afraid to shoot it. Like, even when she's not making shots, with her being a shooter, like, shoot, like, she's going to shoot the ball, and that's what I love about her.
And you mentioned her opening up the game to people, so you feel like she's really brought in some new fans to the sport of women's basketball?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your journey to Wichita State. Why did you choose to play for the Shockers?
When I was playing JUCO, I ended up playing against Coach Scales, and he ended up getting the position here at Wichita State. And once he got the position, he looked out. He ended up hitting me up and asking me if I would like to come on a visit. And ever since then, like, he just been on me. They been on me. So I just chose to come here.
You're talking about Antoine Scales,
yes.
Assistant at Wichita State. He was the head coach at Colby or Garden City.
Garden City.
Correct. Okay, so he saw you, was impressed, and wanted to bring you to Wichita State. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Summer practices. Wichita State is about done with those, and then you'll head off to the Virgin Islands to play an exhibition tour. Describe the summer practices. What kind of things have the Shockers been working on?
We work on a lot of footwork. We do work on defense. And yeah, that'd be the main thing. The main thing we work on would be defense.
Do you have a favorite practice drill?
I would say probably the ladder drill.
The ladder drill. Tell us a little bit about that. How do you describe that?
Just basically, like, just for our footwork, make us move quicker. That's about it.
You will wear number 3 for the Shockers. Tell us the story about why you wear number 3.
Well, when I was 8, I ended up playing on this basketball league team, and it's just like I always have been number 3. So why change now? So.
Okay, stick with it. Makes sense. Give the fans a little insight about your game. Maybe when a fan comes to a game and they're walking out of the arena in December or January, what do you want them to be saying about Princess Anderson?
She's tough. She can play. She can ball. She can shoot. She's not afraid. She gonna compete from the beginning to the end. Yeah, just things like that.
Okay, those are good things. So last month, the Shockers went to Dillon's to learn about nutrition, good choices for food. What did you learn from that field trip?
I learned about what are, like, some good pregame meals that I can eat before practice and after practice, and what I should and shouldn't eat, and things of that matter. Okay,
what have you picked up on? What's a food that maybe you've adopted here recently?
Well, what I picked on recently was yogurt.
Okay.
Yogurt and grapes.
That's a good one.
That's about it.
Okay. Has there been a food that it's been tough for you to cut back on or give up?
Eating some meat. I gotta slow down on that.
Slow down on the red meat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. You've been through the recruiting process now. What advice would you give to a high school athlete, maybe a sophomore who's starting to think about, where do I want to go to school? What do I want to study? Where do I want to play my sport? What advice would you give them?
I would say don't rush it. Like, be very careful on, like, where you plan on going. Wherever you pick, just make sure, like, you feel comfortable, like you feel like you're at home.
Princess Anderson, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great insight as always. Thanks for listening to the Roundhouse podcast, courtesy of Wichita State University Strategic Communications. We encourage you to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can always find more Roundhouse content at GoShockers.com.
Martin, left wing to Mike Jones. 8 seconds left. Smithson out to Mike Jones. 25-footer. Good! He got it with 3 seconds left. Mike Jones from about 25 feet out hit another long jumper. 2 seconds showing on the clock. That may not be official, but Wichita State leads 66-65. Timeout, Kansas. 2 seconds to go. Wichita State 66, Kansas 65.